Like, basically, if this whole SEC Big Ten idea comes together, which this is also just massive speculation, but with today's move and the Big Ten expanding their footprint, it looks like, and not being done, now you're covering the whole country. If you're those two conferences, for the most part, I mean, if you're going to go and let's say that's the scenario, they're going to go be the new NFL, whatever. Okay, that leaves a bunch of other people to do what? Just try to be the USFL of that group or be the college sports group. That's how I read that. So, yeah, I mean, if you're the Big 12 and your whole new campaign really based on reading the tea leaves is going to be, hey, we're the coast-to-coast conference. Like, we're America's conference in a way. You want to go out west, we got BYU and maybe some new teams as of, later on. You want to go out east, you got West Virginia. We got Midwest, let's go to Cincinnati, down south, etc. I mean, you kind of cover almost every base there. And I know for one thing, if it's based simply on Mack Rhodes' opinion, Baylor AD, they're not going to want to get rid of the athletics or the academics part of this. So if you believe in student athletes, even if those student athletes are employees or getting paid, then there's absolutely room for still caring about academics and still caring about the feel of college football, even if that feels not exactly what it was, even 2 years ago.
Joseph, Super Chat, $20. Thank you very much. It's a very interesting question, and we'll try to answer it, but we got to get the calls. We want to get the calls. We asked for the calls, and here we go.
All right, let's go to Jeff in Mexico. Jeff, thanks for your call.
Hey, roll tide, guys.
Roll Tide.
Hey, I just hope for you guys that today's news brings you guys as many new viewers as last year when Oklahoma and Texas came over to the SEC. You guys are the best show going. It's the best 3-hour talk show on sports anywhere. Thanks for the great work you guys do, guys.
Jeff, we hope you're right.
Thanks, Jeff.
And it seemed like today that the numbers, have expanded. We appreciate that. Do you have anything in particular about today's news you want to share?
I think he's gone.
Okay.
Yeah,
we lost
I think he's just saying what's up.
Oh, there he goes. There he goes.
I wonder if Lincoln Riley is so excited about going to Big Ten, seeing that he kind of left Oklahoma when they were going to the SEC.
He is the guy that I've seen. I mean, he's the guy that if I could really, if we could pry open his brain and just pull out whatever we wanted to. I mean, I'm sure there's a million ways you could go, but how much did you know when you took that USC job? Like, did you know this was going to happen?
Because I don't
Did you know this was going to happen, Lincoln Riley?
Well, I mean, it's kind of a similar situation when Steve Sarkisian took the Texas job. How much did they tell him about that? Like, and from what we know is that he probably didn't really know all that much because they had to keep it to about 4 or 5 people that knew about the thing altogether. So,
and plus, I mean, both jobs you could argue it doesn't really matter where they are, but given the kind of talk around Lincoln Riley's decision and why he chose where he chose, yes, all of a sudden going and joining Ohio State and Michigan State and Michigan and Penn State and so on. Yeah, I don't know if that's exactly what he was looking for. But, yeah, I would be fascinated to know what he knew when he took the USC job and if he had any inkling, like Sark, about the SEC, if he had any inkling, Riley, about this move that's looking like it's going to happen. And I just saw, too, Dennis Dodd, remaining Pac-12 ADs. What a world, right? What a world. Remaining Pac-12 ADs and presidents will meet later today via phone to discuss next steps. That's not surprising, of course, but just passing that along.
Hey, here's one note, then another call from the 213. By the way, guys, perfect example, even with USC and UCLA bringing the LA market, so to speak. And it does as far as the way maybe TV executives can be wowed by that. Perfect example right now in LA, 570 LA, in AM in LA. What are they talking about?
Freddie Freeman.
Not a word about, nothing about USC and UCLA. The Durant requesting a trade, maybe to Sacramento. The Dodgers. Nobody cares about the Pac-12 in this city.
Man, that's wild.
And that is interesting. That doesn't mean that still LA is not a part of any kind of a TV mix. Rodney Peete, former USC quarterback, he says he thinks this is set up with the 2 super conferences. We've been told that. Fox runs the Big Ten Conference, ESPN with the SEC, 40, 50 teams. Big Ten will take more. SEC will take more. Leftovers will just whoever they are. And so that's kind of at least we've heard that scenario, but thank you to the 213.
For the super conferences to work, it also kind of goes against the whole, we want as much inventory as possible. So you're telling me they're going to have less teams and less conferences to cover? That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. So that's why I'm a little bit hesitant on going all in on, it's just going to be the Big 10 and the Pac-12. But Ross Dellinger, Big 10 president, set to vote to accept application of membership from UCLA and USC this evening.
254-339-1120.